It's about that time, good people. Appreciate y'all coming
Hello,
on.
Facebook.
Appreciate y'all coming on. Appreciate y'all coming on.
Hello, Facebook. Are you guys there? Are you there? Are you there?
Are you
Hello.
there?
Are you there? Welcome. It's Sunday evening at 7. You know what we do Sunday evening at 7.
We are ready.
Sheltered in with the Nightons. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Y'all need to make sure you're coming on. Listen, where y'all at?
They coming. They're coming.
Are
There
y'all
you go.
on?
They're coming on.
Oh, hey, Britisha. All right, there we go. Hey, Felicia. I was about to say, y'all acting like it ain't 7 o'clock. Come on now.
It's
Come
not 7.
Come on, come
It's 6:57.
on. Oh, okay. So we early.
We got time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Felicia, is that my Felicia King? I don't know if that's Camilla or Albany. I got two Felicia Kings I know real well.
You got two?
Two
All
Felicia
right.
Kings I know real well.
All
One
right.
from Camilla and one from Albany.
Very good. Sheltered in, sheltered in. It's good to see y'all coming on. So as you do every Sunday, as you're coming on, make sure you tell us where you're watching us from. Listen,
Let me shut it over.
we love to see where you guys are watching us from. We've had people watching us from Hawaii, people watching us from,
Some everywhere.
what was it last week that we were both were, what? It was somewhere overseas.
Yeah, it was. Korea or somewhere.
Yeah, Korea. It was Korea. So we are excited to see where you guys are watching us from.
We
So
got
make
it
sure.
tonight. We got it tonight for you now. Y'all come on.
Make sure
share
you
this
share.
page. It's about that time.
Listen, we got part 2. Y'all like Tell the Truth so much last week. We got Tell the Truth again tonight.
Just from another angle.
Just from another angle. But again, it's Tell the Truth. So, sheltered in with the night and 7 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. Make sure you're sharing as you're coming on. Listen, make sure you put your hashtags in there like we always do. So the hashtag again for tonight is hashtag Tell the Truth. So, like we always do, we're the Nightons, Lawrence and Tracy. And we're not experts, we're just experienced. And we want to share our experience with you. So make sure you're sharing.
Waiting for you. I'm sharing. That's why my head is down. I'm not being rude.
You know, he always sharing. So make sure you're doing the same thing.
What we need to do. Share the St. James too while I'm at it.
Make sure you're doing the same thing as you're coming on. Hey, Shayla from Camilla. What's up, Shayla? Make sure you're sharing as you're coming on. We got it for you tonight, but we always say that. Because we what? We real raw and relevant. That's what we do. So listen, we got it for you again tonight. Tell the truth. Are we just going through the motions?
Tell the truth. Are you
Come on,
really
man.
just going through the motions?
Are we just really going through the motions?
Are you just waiting for the kids to get grown so you can leave?
What?
Are you just waiting for you to get a better job so you can take care of your own bills? Come on, tell the truth.
We
ain't even got started
We
yet.
ain't even got
We ain't
started yet. I was about to say, hey, time out. We ain't even got started yet. Hey, Justin. Justin say, I'm here. What's up, Justin?
Oh, man, we on it. Now, anytime Justin come in, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll.
Justin say, I'm here. We always appreciate our guys coming on. Hey, Yvette Franklin. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Listen, y'all make sure y'all share this because somebody you know is just going through the motions. So tonight, we're going to do Tell the Truth. Are we just going through the motions? Yeah. So tonight, we're going to help you identify whether or not you really are going through the motions. And then what you need to do to get out those motions.
That's it.
So make sure you're sharing. All right. All right. Listen. Listen. Listen, listen, listen.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, listen. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're telling us where you guys are watching us from. And you know how we did last week? Listen, he gave away books last week. Hey, Tanya Wright, welcome. So he gave away books last week. Don't tell him I told you. But listen, he's going to pick 2 more people tonight to give a book to. Don't tell him I told you. But here's his book. If it's love, it'll last.
I'm still sharing. That's why my head is down. I love y'all, but I'm sharing.
This is his book. If it's love, it'll last. Make sure you get a copy. If it's love, it'll last. It will bless your life. If I do say so myself. So listen, $10 will get you the book. All you got to do is DM him, direct message him, and let him know what your address is, and he'll send it to you. But don't tell him I told you. He's giving away 2 books tonight. Okay.
That I'm doing.
All right, Janita, Bertisha, all right, they're here. Nicole is in the house. Nicole is in the house. Glad to see y'all on tonight.
I'm still sharing.
Listen, make sure you are sharing, and we're about to get started one more again. one more time. It's Sunday for us. Hey, Samantha Green, what's up? Make sure you guys are telling us where you guys are watching us from. We're about ready to get started.
About ready.
Did y'all hit the share button? Y'all did? Okay. Yeah? All right. Okay. Hey, Alicia, we just want to make sure everybody's sharing before we get started, because you know how he do. He got to share to everybody.
I got to share to everybody.
He got to share to everybody.
Just
Richard Morris in the house. What's up, Richard? All the way from Texas.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Richard's in the house. So we appreciate you guys watching. Just hit that share button. You sitting there chilling. Just hit share. That's right.
Take a half a second. Just hit that button.
That's it.
Send it out to the world. We need to let people know we're on.
That's right. KJ say hello, Patney. That's right. Hello. We appreciate you guys watching.
Right. Tell us where you're watching from now. We want to know where you're watching us from.
So Nicole says, let's get this fire started. So, hey, Nicole, can you do us a favor? Last week, was it last week that
Yes.
somebody asked us what our cash out was, and we were like, oh, we didn't think about that. So we're going to use Big Brother LK's cash out, and it's
$ make it happen 60.
$ make it happen 60. That is his cash out. So Nicole, if you could make sure you pin that for him, $ make it happen 60. I had to think about it for a second. $ make it happen 60. So if you just want to bless us, we're gonna use his cash app to do that. So that was one thing, and the other thing was his website, levelast.com. That's another place. And then the My Relationship Movement, go back and check those out. Hey, Jocelyn, thank you for watching us. So if you take care of that, Nicole, we appreciate it. So listen.
All right, let's get started.
We ready to get started now?
I'll send enough places already.
Yeah, he had already sent enough places. So listen, make sure you tell us where you're watching us from as you're coming on. We love comments. Y'all be killing us right. Y'all be killing us with y'all comments. Y'all are so funny. So we want to make sure that you guys are interactive. We love to see your comments, and you know how he does. He's always watching the iPad, so as you're putting your comments in, as you have your questions, he's checking them out, and we are addressing them right on the spot.
I'm ready.
So make
I'll
sure
share
you're
enough
using
places.
our hashtag tonight, hashtag tell the truth.
You have my undivided attention right now. I'm ready.
Hashtag tell the truth. And if you got comments or questions, go ahead and put them in, because he's monitoring the iPad. So whatever comments and questions y'all got,
I'm on it.
we bringing them right on screen. So tonight, our topic is simply this. Come on, tell the truth.
Tell the truth. You on?
Are we
you
just
on?
going? Oh, no, I forgot the IG family. Hold on just a second. I forgot the IG family.
IG's family need to come on in now. IG family, we ready for you. Let's talk. All right, we're on.
All right, IG family's in the house. IG family's in the house. All right, so let's go. Tonight's topic is this: tell the truth. Are we just going through the motions? Really? Are we just really going through the motions? So tonight, the burning question is this: I just need to know. How do I know? How do I know if I'm going through the motions? I'm glad you asked.
Glad you asked.
Because you know you got the two of us to tell you what's really going on. Because our job is to entertain, inspire, and inform you with our real, raw, and relevant experiences.
That's it.
Because we're not experts. We're just experiences. But we're here to entertain and inspire you with our experience. So, again,
This is
listen.
gonna be good.
As you coming on, I hope you have your pen and
It's gonna
paper
be
ready
good.
and something to drink, because it's going to be fire like it always is. So listen, y'all know I got to drop some knowledge before we get started. Y'all know I like to drop some knowledge.
All right.
Okay. So here we go. So when we were thinking of the topic tonight, because people always say this, I'm just going through the motion. And usually when you say that, I'm just going through the motion, it really means that you just kind of yet holding on.
I'm just
right?
there.
Right?
I'm just there.
I'm just there. I'm just yet holding on until ... So when we think of motion, you know me, I need to drop some knowledge here.
Drop it.
So here's your knowledge nuggets. There are 4 types of motions. And as we're going through this relationship thing, as we're talking about these relationship conversations, I want you to keep these 4 types of motion in the back of your mind. Because like we said last couple of weeks ago, you need to always do an autopsy on your relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you ended some relationships and you never did an autopsy on them, guess what? You're probably going to end up doing the same thing again. So, I want you to keep these 4 types of motion in mind as you think about your relationships. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Here's the first one. The first type of motion is this. It's rotary. Rotary motion. So remember, a couple of weeks ago we talked about, are we in a relationship or are we in a revolving door? That revolving door is rotary. It's going around and around and around. You trying to figure out why you keep getting these deadbeat people in the same relationship, these tired friends of yours always talking about the same things. Listen, that's rotary. That's rotary motion. You just going around and around in circles. That's the first type of motion. The second type of motion is oscillating.
Oscillating, yes.
Oscillating. I said oscillating.
Yeah,
Oscillating. Oscillating like a fan. It just goes back.
Let me spell it because I was a great speller. OSCILLATING. OSC.
Not oscillating. Oscillating.
OSCILLATING. You got me spelling it wrong now. OSCILL. Yes. Not Oscar.
Okay.
Oscillating.
Oscar Mayer wieners. Okay. So, I don't know. I just got that. Okay. So the first way is rotary. We're going around and around in circles. The second motion is oscillating like a fan. It just goes back and forth. It ain't going nowhere. It's just going back and forth. Is your relationship going back and forth? Come on now. Let's just be honest. Let's tell the truth tonight. The third type of motion is this. It's linear. It's straight. It's going straight up and down. Straight line. Straight up, down. Straight line. Linear. And then the last type of motion is this. Irregular. Just flat-footed, irregular. You all over the place. Today you up, tomorrow you down, the next day you left. Your man don't know how to talk to you because if you left today, you might be right tomorrow. He don't know. Or she don't know. She don't even know how to get with you. So listen, those are the 4 types of motions. The first one is rotary. You just going around in a circle. The second one is oscillating. You just going back and forth. Back and forth. No rhyme or reason, just back and forth. The third way is linear. Some days you up, some days you down. We just don't know what you're doing. And then the fourth way is irregular. We don't know which way. Are you coming sideways or there? Are you coming left or right? I don't know. When you wake up in the morning, I don't know who you are. I just have to wait on you to speak to me because I don't know what you're going to say. You just irregular.
And bees are the ones who actually fly in an irregular pattern. Mm-hmm. Bees, irregular. They just wherever.
Right.
And it's like your relationship. Just all over the place.
It's just irregular.
It's just everywhere. Irregular. You know what I mean? Okay. So listen, let me get this conversation. Is it my time now?
Yeah, it's your time.
Okay, it's my time.
It's his
time.
I want
quite naturally, we like to do these conversations because we're very transparent. And I want to share a little information from my actual upbringing. And
you're going to get a little personal?
I'm going to get a little personal
all
because
right,
I want y'all
get
to
a
hear
little personal.
This. I literally remember being 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
And saying to my mom, listen, you don't have to put up with this. I'm 8 or 9 years old now.
My.
Saying you don't have to put up with this. Why are you dealing with this? Mm-hmm. And the truth of the matter is, I saw even as an 8, 9-year-old that my parents were just going through the motion. Really wasn't a whole lot of love shown there. Wow. They were just in the house. They weren't communicating on a regular basis about life and things and goals and things of that nature. Wow. They really were just going through the motions. So hear me now. I'm being very transparent. My parents have been married let me go back. My parents were married for a long time, 50 plus years. As a matter of fact, I was just telling Tracy earlier that I ended up flying home, me, Tracy, and my son, we flew to New York. And my parents did a renewal of their 50th wedding vows. I'm flying up to New York, me, Tracy, and my son, in October, I believe it was.
Which he does 50th. Not like.
I don't like going to New York past September because the weather's too unpredictable. So watch this though. So I'm saying to my parents, we're gonna do a 50th, renewal. And in my mind, I'm saying, why waste the time? I mean, y'all wasn't happy the first 49 and 9. So why do a 50th just to show people that y'all are still together when you're really not together? Mm-hmm. So I obliged. I went to New York. As a matter of fact, I did the 50th ceremony. I did the 50th. And lo and behold, they did the 50th renewal. Hear me good now. Come closer. They did the 50th renewal, and they got divorced probably 5 years later, maybe. I don't know, something like that. I don't even know if it was 5 years. 5 years later. Now, listen, they were in their 70s when they got divorced. In their 70s. 70s.
Yep.
When they got divorced. 70s.
And they got married when your mom was how old?
I don't even know. She was young. And so, listen to me now. I'm trying to be transparent with y'all. All of those years pretending that they were happy,
just going through
the motions.
Just going through the motions.
Just going through the motions. I remember my mom saying, "Well, I'm gonna leave when y'all get out of school." Listen, we have been out of school, gone from Syracuse, married, grandkids, they still there. The point I'm making is, at some point, you have to be honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Why am I just going through the motions? Right. Now, we're not advocating for people to get divorced or anything like that. We're just being transparent with you so you can make a good judgment call on whether it's worth it for you to continue to go through the motions.
Right.
And again, we're not advocating for anybody to do anything but check yourself, tell yourself the truth. To thine own self be true. Because you have to be able to be truthful with yourself before you can be truthful with anybody else. Right. And I said all that to say that my parents, again, got divorced after 50 plus years, but they should have been divorced 50 years before that. 50 years before. Do y'all hear what I'm saying?
Not 50 years.
48. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. 48 then. And the point I'm making is, there are people, too many people in relationships, in marriages, who are just going through the motions.
Exactly.
He's paying the bills. Whatever it might be. I got a secure place to stay. We're just here. He's in one room, I'm in another one. Whatever. All that kind of stuff. That just says that you're in a relationship / marriage where you're just going through the motions. And let me talk to some of you parents who have children and you're just in there, you're unhappy. Listen, God never intended that we would live a life of misery. No. Right. Don't fool yourself. Right. I know back in the day, preachers used to tell you, well, you just stay there. No, be a fool if you want to. I'm telling you, nothing is worth your PEACE. Nothing is worth your peace. And I'm saying this because I want all of us to do an analysis on ourselves and ask ourselves, are we really just going through the motion? Right. Because again, if I saw at 8 or 9 years old that my parents should not have been together, then quite naturally, they knew it, but they just didn't want to be the one who say, you know what, let's go our separate ways. Now, they said it a couple of times. My dad even left for a minute. A hot minute, wasn't long. But they realized, it's cheaper to keep her.
No.
So listen, I'm just being transparent with y'all. So now I'm going to let her be transparent for a minute.
So I shared this before. Neither one of my sisters are on. I don't see them on. But they'll confirm this. That my parents got married early, very early in their late in their teenage years, but early by some people because of me. Yes. But my parents never learned how to love each other because they just didn't have good examples of what love looked like. Right. So what ended up happening is that as they went on trying to figure out how to be in this marriage together, every 4 years, a daughter came along. So I was born in 70, 74, my sister was born, 78, my baby sister was born. And by the time my baby sister was born in 78, I really don't believe my parents liked each other a lot. What ended up happening was that as we continued to go on in life, you could see the demise of their marriage. They were not talking more than they were talking. And when they were talking to each other, there was no loving exchange between the two of them. Most times my mama was talking through her teeth like this. And most times my dad...
If you don't get Joe out of here, I'm going to kill you.
And most times my dad was just like, let me just get through this. I remember there were times, like Lawrence was saying, they were sleeping in separate bedrooms. They weren't talking to each other. And all the while, me and my sisters are just absorbing all of this. And so after a while, it just becomes toxic. It's a toxic environment. And so I graduated from high school, and this is what I remember about my high school graduation. And I'm going to just be transparent and be real. I'm going to keep it real. My parents were not talking when I graduated from high school. They weren't talking to each other.
Ooh.
They were not talking to each other. As a matter of fact, the summer before I went to college, I graduated in June. I left for college in August. I asked my parents to get a divorce. That's right. I asked my parents to get a divorce When I left for college, right before I got ready to leave, I said, listen, I need y'all to get a divorce. Because y'all don't like each other. Y'all ain't talking to each other. And I can't leave my 2 young sisters here in this toxic environment with the 2 of y'all without me here. And they both said, oh, we're going to work on it. We're going to make it work. Are y'all just going through the motions? Are y'all really? Tell the truth. Are y'all just going through the motions? So let me be honest. I felt like they were just going through the motions because I was 18 and I realized that, wait a minute, these 2 people are not talking to each other more than they are talking to each other. And the talk that they are talking to each other is so harsh and crazy and negative that what do you do with this foolishness? Listen, 2 grown people, I'm asking y'all, get a divorce. So at least I know the environment that I'm leaving my sisters in is not toxic. So ended up, I left, went to college. Next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call November. We getting a divorce. I was like, about blank time. I can't tell you what I really said, but about blank time. But in the meantime,
fill in the blank.
Exactly. In the meantime, you've damaged 3 people.
Y'all listening?
It wasn't intentional. I know they loved us. I know my parents love. Listen, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, my parents love me greatly. But unintentionally, they damaged me and my sisters. There was a lot of stuff we saw we shouldn't have seen. There was a lot of stuff we heard we shouldn't have heard. But they were not being truthful with each other.
There you go.
Number 1, they weren't being truthful with themselves. Number 2, they weren't being truthful with each other. And the third thing is they were just going through the motions.
Going through the motions. Now, if any of you have ever experienced your parents or your mama's boyfriend or whatever, if they were married or not married.
Mama's boyfriend? What?
Yeah, you know how that is. And you've seen that yourself. At least help us to feel like we're not in this by ourselves. Yeah. And I know we're not, because a lot of times, again, we do these real relevant conversations because these are conversations that people don't want to talk about. And the only way that we can help each other is to let other folks know that, listen, my parents were jacked up too. Listen. They didn't really love each other. They were fighting. Listen to me. It was 3 of us, 4 when my sister came along. My sister is 14 years younger than I am. I was the baby. And so we were stair steps. I'm 60. My next brother is 61. My oldest brother is 62. My sister is 40. I'm 60. So my sister will be 46, right, 46 in December. So watch this now. So here I am, me and my brother that's next to me. My oldest brother, he was like, Mom and Daddy fighting. Go get them. So we got to go in there and break up fights. Yeah. Listen to me. I'm saying young 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids going in there breaking up fights. Now, I never heard my mom cuss to this day, but it would be like, she would ask my dad when he came home, where you been? Mama, don't ask me where I've been. You know how that go. And then it's all from there. Now we got to go break up a fight. 70s, you know, all that kind of foolishness. We've seen all that. And so we grew up thinking that didn't bother us, but it had a detrimental impact on our relationships prior to us getting some therapy to get that stuff right. Yes. Are y'all listening to me? I'm trying to help y'all now. We're just trying to be transparent because there are too many people in relationships. You got your kids seeing all of this dysfunction to where y'all are going through the motion. You really don't like each other. You're cussing each other out. You're doing all this crazy stuff, and your children are picking that up, and they're going to learn to be the same way.
Right. I remember being, before in my other life, I was a school counselor. I remember very vividly one of the girls got into a fight with her boyfriend in the hallway. And I remember watching her fight this boy. And I remember this boy watching him fight her. He was hitting her like she was a guy. And she was hitting him like she knew what she was doing. So when we finally broke them up in the hallway, and this was boyfriend and girlfriend. We broke them up in the hallway, and I took the girl to my office, and I was having a conversation with her, and I was like, listen, when was it okay for a boy to hit you? She's like, oh, he always does that. That's how I know he loved me. What? And so I was just floored by her comment that's how I know he loved me. So I asked her even further, because by that point I'm intrigued. I'm like, okay, she had to learn this behavior from somewhere. So when I talked to her, as we continued our conversation, I was like, it's not a good thing for a man to hit a woman, number one. It's not a good thing for a woman to hit a man, but tell me where you learned this behavior from. Tell me where you get all of this. Tell me who taught you that it was love to beat on a woman. She said, oh, I watch my mom and daddy do it all the time. And then, let me just be clear. I watched my mom and daddy do it all the time, and then I would hear them make up in the bedroom. What? And she was, listen, this girl was crystal clear on what she believed, what she saw, and what she internalized to be her truth. So now you've got a teenage girl who grew up in this toxic environment, believing that it was okay, that beating on me is a form of you telling me that you love me.
I love you.
That's learned behavior. So when we talk about tell the truth, are we just going through the motions? You have to be true with yourself. What is your truth first? What is your truth first?
That's it.
What is your truth first? And then what is our truth? Because if I'm not true with myself first, if I'm not being to thine own self be true, then it is absolutely impossible to be true this way. So if I'm not true this way, I cannot be true this way. Let me just put it out there. So here's a child in high school who believes at 16, 17 that it's okay for you to beat me because that's how I know you love me. And she's 16. And hopefully she's going to live till she enters in her 70s. So now at 16, that's her foundational belief, that it's okay for you to beat me.
And see, here's the thing that we don't really recognize, that a lot of times when kids grow up in those type of environments, it actually does more damage than good.
Right.
That when you're just going through the motions, when you really don't like each other, when you're cussing each other out, you're teaching your children that it's okay to do that. So to give you a good example, I never heard my mom cuss. I really never heard my dad cuss. I mean, not using no crazy language. He may say, SHIT and ASS. That was the maximum that my dad, again, I never heard my mom say any cuss word. Okay. My dad would just use SHIT and ASS. So you can tell I ain't never been a cusser because I don't even know how to say them kind of words. So really none of us.
And y'all sitting there going,
yeah, none of us really grew up cursing. Now my other brother went off into the military. The one next to me, now he can throw it down, but he don't throw it down like he used to. But he used to be able to throw it down. And I was asking myself, man, where you get that kind of language from? Right. And the point I'm making is, a lot of times we don't realize. You saying, well, God, you know, your daughters cuss. Your daughters cuss the men out when they get mad. They cuss the children out, and you got to learn to ask where it came from. It came from you, mama. Right. Came from you, grandmama, because that's what they saw you and your husband doing. You better get your all that kind of stuff. And so now they think that that's normal.
That's normal.
That's not normal.
Normal talk to them.
But that's the way we are damaging these kids, these families, by continuously repeating that cycle of dysfunction, and it's not healthy.
Right. To thine own self be true. So when we talk about tell the truth, are we just going through the motions? Listen. I know for a fact, and I'm speaking my truth. I know for a fact there were relationships before this one right here.
Oh,
there were relationships before where I was just going through the motion. I was just like, you know what? I'm just trying to get alone, to stay alone, so I don't have to be alone. That's what I was doing.
Listen, before we go any further, I really need y'all to share this. There are and I'm not trying to be funny, there are very few people who are giving you this kind of transparent information. They just, and not in our community, they're just not. I'm not saying there's not any, but I'm saying there are very few. And there are very few who are doing it where you don't have to pay to hear this. We don't pay, we're just trying to get the information out to you. All I'm asking y'all to do is share this. We're not trying to become social media stars or nothing like this. We're just trying to get more of our people to become healthy so that they can in turn create healthier people.
That's all.
Because as we always say, hurt people end up doing nothing but hurting people, and healed people end up healing people. Yes. So we need y'all to share this so we can help heal you and whoever's watching so that it can help heal other people. Now let's talk. Yeah. Hit the share button first, though.
All right. So how do you know if you are just going through the motions? I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about it.
Let's write these down.
Let's write it down because you know we got to give you some pointers.
I need all of y'all interacting.
Yes. So you know.
Yeah, I know y'all listening too, so we'll excuse you. You can't write it down and listen and talk and chew gum at the same time.
What?
Write it down, talk, chew gum at the same time. I can do all three. Let's go. Write, talk, chew gum at the same time. Let's go.
I can't. I'm so sorry. Listen, 3 ways. And then you know how we always do. We want you to write it down because we want you to be able to internalize this, digest it, and then give it back to somebody else. Because we want to be able to help you so that you can help somebody else.
That's
Heal
it.
people, heal people.
And that's why I want y'all to share this video. Share this video.
So, let's get some healing going on.
Let's get some healing going on.
All right. So here are ways that you know that you're just going through the motions.
And we ain't talking about sexual healing.
No. That's another topic, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe next week. Let's go.
First way, there is no presence in your relationship.
No presence. P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E or P-R-E-S-E-N-T-S. Either one. So yeah, the most important one is P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E. P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E.
Okay.
And let's by the way just add P-R-E-S-E-N-T-S. You ain't getting no presents either.
I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I fed him. Yes, I did feed him before we did this. All right. So,
what do you mean by presence?
There's no presence. So, there's no intimacy. Yeah. Intimacy. There's no intimacy in the relationship. There is no communication in the relationship.
No presence.
There is no togetherness in the relationship. There is no couple time. There is no family time. There's just no presence. You out there just being great, doing whatever you want to do, and they're out there doing the same. And when y'all get to the house together, y'all both like, blankety blank, he here. Blankety blank, she here. And then y'all go to y'all respective bedrooms. There's no presence in the relationship.
So let me just ask. So really what that sounds like to me is that when you say no presence, P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E, what that really means is that a person is emotionally detached.
Good
Write
job.
that in the comments because that just came fresh off of the email. Emotionally.
Yes. You go ahead, honey.
What did I say? Emotionally what?
Detached.
Detached.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by emotionally detached, when a person is emotionally detached, they're not at a place where they can even feel you. They're not in a place where they can understand, not trying to understand you. They're not in a place where they're trying to connect with you to see why is it that we're just going through the motion. And I'm saying to you, one of the worst things you can have, not only when a person is being emotionally detached, but one of the worst things for a person is to be emotionally drained.
Ooh. Woo.
Boy, I'm talking good right there. I kind of like that myself.
Listen, are you emotionally detached or emotionally drained? Go ahead.
Yes, honey. Because when you're emotionally...
I'm going to take a sip of water to
when a person is emotionally detached, you in turn become emotionally drained. And when you're emotionally drained, you're trying to figure out why you always feel tired. Why is it I don't feel right? It's because when you're emotionally drained, it's worse than being physically drained.
Woo! Yes.
Emotional tiredness is worse than physical tiredness. Listen to me. I'm telling you, I lived it. Being emotionally tired, you can't sleep, you can't rest, is worse than being physical. Because sometimes when you're physically tired, you can just go right to sleep. Right. But when you're emotionally, you got too many thoughts going through your mind. You got too many things you're thinking about. You're trying to think about, do I leave? Do I stay? Do I get the kids and just leave in the middle of the night? Whatever the case may be. And when you're emotionally drained, you can't sleep like you want to sleep. And I know I'm talking good. And if I was at church, I'd say, touch your neighbor and say, he right. He right. That's it. I did it for you. He right. Come on now. Listen. I understand it's supposed to be he's right. I'm just being ebonically challenged right now.
Tanya said you better say it. True. So there's no presence. That's the first way.
Well, I'm not
Tell the truth, huh?
When you're saying there's no presence, because we're giving you the 3 P's tonight, right? You
yes,
got 3 P's?
We got 3 P's.
So he's talking about being there's no presence. Yes. So another thing is when there's no presence, when you're going through the motions, there's no presence. It also means, if I can just go a little further, I think it also means that the two of you really never do anything together. Right. You're not bonding together. You're not connecting. You're not going out, having dates with each other. You're not doing those things. I don't like you like that no more. Yeah, it's like we're just here. So it's like you're not bonding. You're not doing anything special together. Right. And that's when you know that you're just going through the motions, when there's just no connection anymore. Right, right. And you ain't trying to connect. You ain't trying to connect. You don't want to connect, matter of fact. Exactly. And so, like, to give the illustration, I think we gave this a few weeks ago, is you so busy trying to get charged that you keep charging yourself with the wrong charger. Okay. Yeah. So you charging yourself, you got an Apple phone, but you keep trying to charge with a Samsung charger.
there's nothing connecting. And when there's nothing connecting, you're not going to recharge. You're just going to be constantly going and going and going until your battery is completely empty. So at some point you got to charge. At some point you got to recharge. And at some point you got to say to yourself, am I really just going through the motions? To thine own self be true. I can't say that enough. If you're not good here, you ain't going to be good here. So the first one is there's no presence.
Can I add one more thing?
Oh, go
ahead. And the other thing is...
You getting emails like this tonight?
No.
All right, now.
And so the other thing is when you start talking about you're not doing anything together. Now, if I'm talking from a man perspective again, so sometimes what we can do... Matter of fact, let me back up for a second. I want you to hear me on this, ladies. I'm talking to the ladies now. And I watched this with my dad. Listen to me. I'm saying, because it just hit me. It literally just hit me.
Okay.
I watched this with my dad. And women, I want y'all to tell me if I'm right or wrong. Women will stay up worrying. They're trying to figure out what's going on. How can I make this better? And a man will go to sleep like it ain't no big deal.
What?
Seriously, now listen to me.
Say that again.
When there's no presence, let me say it another way.
No. Say what you said. I just missed it.
You missed it.
Yeah.
I have watched my dad go to sleep like nothing was even going on.
Okay.
He didn't have no problem dropping off to sleep, but the woman...
Oh, yeah, we'll be up all night. Yeah, we up all night.
Trying to figure out, what's going on, how come he can just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because a man, he'll go and drop off to sleep like it ain't nothing. You want to talk, he listen, no, I'm going to sleep.
Let's talk about this. I'm feeling some kind of way. And he like,
And what I'm saying to you is sometimes what you got to understand is that when you are not honest with yourself, ladies, I'm talking to the ladies mostly because a man, for the most part, he gonna go whichever way the wind blow in most instances. I ain't saying all. In most instances, he gonna go whichever way the wind blow. But I'm saying for you women, you got to be wise enough. You got to be courageous enough to make a decision about your situation. Again, we're not advocating divorce. We ain't trying to tell you what to do.
Right.
Only thing we're telling you to do is evaluate, analyze yourself, analyze your situation. Because if you're not doing anything together, if you're not communicating with each other, if you're not talking to each other, if you're in one part of the house, he's in another part of the house, that really says that you don't have a relationship. And it's not worth your peace. I promise you it's not. I've been there, done that, got the trophy. Ain't nothing worth my peace no more. No. God,
remember, hey, I'm going to put a shameless plug out there for the My Relationship Movement. Visit that website. We had a t-shirt made that said, My Peace Matters.
My Peace Matters.
My Peace Matters. Yep. So, listen, the first way you know that you might just be going through the motions is this. There's no presence. And we're talking about presence and presents as well. Like you ain't bringing nothing.
Thinking about getting no gifts. She ain't thinking about,
Now, I used to get cards. I used to get flowers. I used to get a little something. I ain't getting nothing now. So yes, there's no presence and there's no presence. Okay? The second way that you know that, you know what? I'm just going through the motions. Either I'm just going back and forth. Either I'm just going in circles. Either I'm going up and down. Or I'm just all over the place. Listen, there are 4 types of emotions. I just rattled them off. Listen, here's the second way that you know that you might just be going through the motions. There's no patience.
Ooh, patience.
Now, I like some patience. Listen, I'm gonna do this because I know he about to rattle it. Yeah, Big Brother LK about to drop it. Listen, this is what I want you to think about when we talk about patience, okay? I want you to think about grace. I want you to think about give and take. There's no grace. There's no give and take. There are no apologies. There's no patience with each other.
Patience with each other.
Yes. Go ahead, honey. Take over.
Well, when you said there's no patience, it's almost like when a conversation come up, you're snapping. One of the two, you're just snapping. You're not communicating. You're just snapping because there's no patience in the relationship anymore.
Yes.
It's almost like you're bored with each other.
Ooh.
That's probably the best way to put that. Because when there's no patience, what ends up happening is you become rather bored with each other. You look at anything that's brought up and it becomes an argument because there's no patience. And as a matter of fact, to go a little further, it's almost as if you withdraw. One of you withdraw and you're like, listen, ain't neither of us even talking about that because it's going to end up in an argument. That means that there's no patience.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you're going through the motion, when you start keeping stuff bottled inside instead of speaking your piece, because you know that if you speak your piece, it's going to blow up to something bigger. And you're saying to yourself, listen, there's no need me bringing it up because there's no patience. He don't have patience or she don't have patience.
Right.
that's when you know things are a little rocky.
Right. And the flip side of that too is there's residue from previous arguments. So when I'm trying to have a discussion with you about something that's present today, you keep bringing up the past. Yeah, there's no patience. Didn't Nicole tell you to stop all that yawning? That is contagious.
Oh, yawning? Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I ain't getting no nap today.
I was about to say he didn't get a nap today.
I don't never get a nap.
So listen, when there's residue that's still left over, the argument is really not about what the disagreement is about in the present moment. We're going back to yesteryear, bringing up old dirt and stuff. And so there's no presence, there's no grace, there's no mercy that's shown in the relationship. There's no give and take. If you're having a bad day, I'm making it worse instead of trying to help you make it better.
I ain't writing notes.
I don't know what they're doing. So there's no patience in the relationship. Listen, everything upsets you. The fact that you come home and it's hot in the house. The fact that you come home, there are dishes in the sink. The fact that you sitting there trying to have a conversation with him and the phone rings. The fact that when you try to text her, she don't respond back to you. Everything agitates you. There's no patience in the relationship.
Somebody asked, do delayed apologies count? Do delayed apologies count?
For no patience?
You know, like, for instance, I think what she's actually asking is that when a person has gone 2 or 3 days and they have not even apologized for maybe what they said or how they snapped, how they went off, I do think that sometimes you have to take into consideration that most men don't know how to apologize. I'm not saying all, but most men have an ego problem, and they really don't know how to come back and apologize when they have done something wrong. So I would say this, at least give the benefit of the doubt that they have come to apologize. But, conjunction, what's your function? But, if it's the same behavior over and over again, that's not a real apology.
Woo. Oh, gosh.
Now let's keep talking.
Now, he just skated over that like he just didn't say nothing. So you know I'm going to go back and get that, right?
Go back and get it.
Okay, go back and get it. That comes with rewind. So let's rewind that. Say that one more time.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm being said.
Oh, Lord.
I said, if it's
the same behavior.
I don't write notes, so you have to forgive me. If it's the same behavior, then that's not a true apology.
There you go.
Thank you. It came back.
There you go. So go a little bit deeper.
And so, and what I mean by that is, it's kind of like if I apologize to her for talking harshly, talking nasty to her, and I apologize, and then the next time we're in a disagreement, I do the same thing, then quite naturally, that ain't no real apology. You're just apologizing for that moment.
Right.
Now you want me to do the same thing the week after is apologize for the same behavior. No, change behavior means that you understand that you were wrong. Woo. Change behavior.
Change behavior
means that you understood that you were really wrong.
Make sure that's typed in there. Change behavior.
Change behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Change behavior dictates.
Yeah, an understanding.
Whether you are genuinely learning from your mistakes.
Yes.
I guess that's about the best way I can put it.
That's it. Yes. I like that. That was good, Doc.
Yeah, thank you.
That was good.
Thank you.
Big brother LK dropping some knowledge. I love it. I love it.
If y'all like what I'm saying, hit the hearts. Let me feel good, okay?
Listen, y'all got some great comments. Right. Lisa Johnson says, that's right. Same repeated behavior is not an apology. That's right, Gwen. Same repeated behavior is not an apology. So, yes. So, listen, the last way, but golly, time flew by tonight.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. We got time.
Okay. So, listen.
That clock a little fast now.
Is it? Okay. So, here's the third way, and I think we're going to spend a lot of time on this one. Yeah. So, here's the third way where you realize that you might just be going through the motions.
The first one was presence.
Yes.
Presence. The second was patience.
Yes.
Patince. And the third one is
no peace.
No peace. Yeah, we're gonna stick with that one for a while.
Yes, there is no peace in your relationship. There is no peace in your house. There is no peace in your mind. There is no peace in your spirit. There is no peace in your emotion. Listen, you ain't got no peace.
So let me deal with that when you talk about no peace. When you're at a point in a relationship where you literally feel like, well, let me say it like this. When you know you're going through the motion, it's quite natural when she says when you have no peace. But if I can just take that a little further, a lot of times when you know you have no peace is when you're at a place where you start thinking about what would this relationship be like if I was just leave?
Ooh.
What would this relationship be like if I just, just go on and just have the courage to just leave? Mm-hmm. And when you start thinking like, I wonder if anybody else would treat me like this. Mm-hmm. When you start having those type of thoughts, that's when you know you don't have peace.
Right.
And if I can go a little further, when you start saying you have no peace, is when you get to the point where you're praying, hoping, wishing that they're not home. I said this the other week because it's true. I've been there before where you're like, Lord, please let them be gone. Please, let them be gone. Let me at least have a few hours of peace. Yeah. Because I know when they come
home.
Let
me have a few hours of peace.
Yeah, let me have a few hours of peace. Let me share this with y'all. I remember my mom making a comment to me one day. I was telling somebody this earlier. Matter of fact, I was telling Britisha this earlier. Yeah. I remember my mom saying to me when she was still married to my dad, I just want to have some peace before I die.
Now, let the people know when she said that. How old was she when she said that?
My mama was in her early 70s.
She was.
Early 70s. Early 70s, because she's 80 now. She was in her mid-70s prior to getting a divorce, finally getting the courage to go through with it.
Right.
She said to me in no uncertain terms, I just want some peace before I die. Mm-hmm. That's deep. I don't care what y'all say.
Listen.
I wish I could tell y'all I was telling y'all a story, but I'm not. I'm telling you.
Listen.
And listen, for those of you who don't know, let me tell you who my mom is. So some of y'all don't know who my mom is. Google her. No, you don't. But you can listen. There's a song. My mom sings with the Georgia Mass Choir. She's a phenomenal singer. She has that song on the Georgia Mass CD. The song is Walk in the Light. That's my mama. Walking in the light. Beautiful. And she kills it. And she's on another song called I've Got a Right to Praise the Lord. That's my mom. She's a godly woman, but listen to me. Her singing was her salvation.
That was it.
Her singing was her peace. Her shopping was her peace. Let me stop right there. I just heard it in the spirit. Some of y'all are doing some of those same things to get your peace, to have your sanity. So you go shopping, or you go every day to get this to make you feel better. Yeah. You're doing all of these things to make you feel better when the real issue is you still have internal issues going on that you think external shopping or external sex or external whatever is going to help you. But no, baby Bubba, I'm just here to tell you that you better learn how to find your way to the street called peace. P-E-A-C-E, and if that means doing like my mom did, getting a divorce after she finally got courage, or in your case, though you are not married, getting the courage to leave because you ain't getting nothing out of it no way, that's when you'll find yourself to peace. I'm done.
And people always say, I could do bad by myself. No, you can do good by yourself too. Listen, ain't nothing like having some peace when you reconcile that you've done all you can do, and it's just time to move on. Listen. And I think I shared this. Dr. E's mom is on from Americas. Listen, McDonough, that's right. I remember.
That's right. That's my girl, Dr. Alicia.
I remember when I finally had the peace to end my first marriage.
Okay.
But the hardest thing to do was to get to that point where I realized that I was more important than the image I had of what it was going to look like if I walked out of that relationship. So here's what I'm actually trying to say. I thought it was more important to stay in that dysfunctional relationship than it was to leave.
Right.
And what ended up happening is that I had no peace. I had no peace physically. I had no peace spiritually. I had no peace emotionally. I was toxic. Listen, I was so toxic, I was thinking about taking my own self out of here. That's just how toxic I was, because I was just outdone. I was at the point to where I was not being truthful with myself. I was just going through the motions. He was just going through the motions. Listen, great guy, I'm a great woman, but we didn't belong together. And so what ended up happening was that one of us had to make the decision that we weren't good together. One of us had to make it.
Each other.
Yeah, one of us had to do that. But in wanting the relationship to work, I gave up my peace. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. I gave up my peace. And when I realized I had given it up, I was ready to let go. I'm talking about I was ready to take myself out of here. But I had to get this right. Remember, I told you, you had to get this right before you could get this right. So when I got this right, that's when I came to myself and I was like, wait, look, hey, hold up. Let me be real with myself. This wasn't working. I deserve more. I deserve more. And because I deserved more, that meant I had to give up the fantasy of what I thought that relationship was going to do. Because it wasn't going to do nothing.
This is good.
And I had to be truthful about that.
Y'all say what you want to say. This stuff is good talk tonight.
And I had to be honest about that. It wasn't going to do what I fantasized it was going to do. I wasn't going to have my happily ever after with that person. I wasn't going to live and they all lived happily ever after. The fairy tale wasn't working. And so I had to walk away. And I had to have peace about walking away. And that's when the peace came back. That's when I needed that t-shirt that said, my peace mattered. The peace came back to me. And when the peace came back to me, that's when life opened up. Life opens up when you do.
So Shayla says, she said, but some people don't want to be alone. And you know, that's 100% true that some people don't want to be alone. But here's the catch. Here's the catch, Shayla. The worst thing you can do is still be alone with somebody there. So because a person is in the house doesn't mean that you're still not lonely.
You just, right, there you go. Let's say
still
that one more time.
That.
Alone and lonely. You can be in a relationship and be lonely.
And the truth of the matter, just because a person is in the house doesn't mean that, you know, it's because I'd rather be alone than to be in a house with somebody that I ain't getting no peace with. Listen. That didn't mean nothing. I can't be with nobody else.
Listen. So with Shayla's comment, I want to ask the next question. Shayla says, so you...
Some people just don't like to be alone.
Yeah, okay. So the truth of the matter is, you really are alone. You really are lonely. And so if that's the case, then what is it about you that you don't feel safe and secure enough within yourself that you can build this life by yourself, for yourself, so that when the next person who does deserve you come along, they're getting the best of you, not the leftovers from a relationship that made you damaged.
Now here's the thing I want to add with that, because you made me think of something else, because the truth of the matter is a lot of people are at that point where they just don't want to be by themselves. So that sounds like, let me come a little closer. Listen to me, Linda, listen, Linda. That says to me that there's something missing internally that causes you to hang on to a thread that's already in pieces because you are in pieces. And when you're in pieces, it causes you to not feel as good about yourself. So for a person to want to stay in a relationship just because they don't want to be alone, they're already alone internally. There's some stuff going on that you need a therapist for.
Oh, shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Nova Counseling and Consulting.
No.
229-589-8873. 229-589-8873. Because if you are in a place where you still want to be in a situation that's not doing you any good, that's causing you to lose your peace because you don't want to be alone, I'm saying to you, Jesus and a therapist is all you need.
Yep, and I got the t-shirt to prove it.
Okay, now let's give a few, let's give a cure.
All right, a few more minutes.
It's not a cure-all. It's not a cure-all.
It's not a cure-all.
It's not a cure-all.
Not a cure-all.
Don't want to just leave you hanging.
That's it.
Because I was always taught when you have information to give to people that's not positive, that's not good, they always say you start off complimenting, then you go into your stuff that may not feel as good, and then you end with a positive. Yes. So you got positive, speak the negative, then positive. So parents, just a little plug. When you want to discipline your children, you give them positive first. I like the way you keep your room clean. I like the way you keep your grades up. And when they've done something that you don't quite agree with, then you share with them that information. Constructive observation. And then you end with the positive. Honey, baby, I know you're going to do better next time. Thank you for being my son. That's how you do it. So that's what we want to give y'all tonight. We want to give y'all some positives to leave on. So in order to cure your relationship from being at a point where you're going through the motions, I heard what you just said. I heard it. The thing is, I know it takes two. So this is really going to help you.
Make a thing go right.
This is really going to help you to get to that point where you are at a point where you can literally determine for real if you're just going through the motions.
Okay.
So the first thing is, and I know it takes two, and you want to make sure that both of y'all can agree on this.
Okay.
Get to the point where you start dating each other again.
Oh, I like date night.
Dating each other again.
I love our date.
Because if the relationship is on life support, the first thing you can do is try to come together to have some us time together.
Yes.
Let's try to reestablish our bonds. Let's get God in the center of this. If that has not been the case, or if you're not Christian, we know everybody who's not Christian, that's fine. Let's find a mutual
mutual ground,
where we can at least have some conversations about getting together, doing something together, planning a getaway, doing something together with each other, so that we can at least start the conversation of whether or not we need to pull the plug or resuscitate it.
Right. And date nights are important. You're right, Tamika. Date nights
start
are very
doing things
important.
together.
Yep.
That's
doing things together.
Yeah, both of y'all have to do that. And I'm talking to married couples now. Single people, you ain't got no business going through that foolishness no way. If you ain't got no peace, you let it go. Think I better let it go. Look like another love TKO. Okay. The next thing you want to do. Yeah, here you go. Tracy does this in her counseling sessions. I gave her this example. I gave her this tidbit. The one thing you want to do is, because most couples don't do this, they never talk about their wants. So you have to ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. We are not mind readers.
Yes.
You know, I say ask for what you want. I'm saying talk about what you want. So you have to talk about your wants.
Yes.
You have to talk about your needs.
Yes.
You have to talk about your expectations. And you have to talk about your non-negotiables. We talk about this on a regular time.
Yeah.
I gave it to you, so what are you talking about? Good job. So listen, write that down now. If you want to cure your relationship from just going through the motion, y'all have some set time where you talk about your wants, your needs, your expectations, and your non-negotiables. This is stuff I'm not negotiating on.
Yep. And they change. That's the thing. Wants, needs, expectations are going to change as you change, as your relationship changes. Those change. And that's why it's important to always have that exchange, to have that state of the marriage address, state of the relationship address, where you guys are coming together and you're talking. And that's good places to have date night, to just kind of check in with each other. If you're going through week in, week out, date night should be the time where it's a no phone zone, where y'all can really check into each other and get to know each other even the more. Because listen, I'll be 50 next month.
Whoop, whoop.
There's some things that are changing. Listen, I got to drop some stuff off my plate because I'm tired. Did y'all hear me? I'm tired. Okay? So there are some things that I wanted when I was 18, that I wanted when I was 21, that I wanted when I was 30, that are no longer important to me at age 50. Okay? But here's the thing that doesn't change. Your non-negotiables don't change. So I'm going to give you an example, because this is the example I give in counseling sessions for people to understand their non-negotiables. A non-negotiable is this: you can't put your hands on me. Period.
You can't cuss me out.
That's a non-negotiable.
You can't call me out my name.
That's it. Those are non-negotiables. I don't care who I'm with. I don't care if I'm with my coworker. I don't care if I'm with my child. I don't care if I'm with Big Brother LK, my main man, my squeeze, my one and only. I don't care who it is. That non-negotiable does not change. You can't put your hands on me because it's etched in stone, like Moses standing on the mount with the 10 Commandments. It's etched in stone. It doesn't matter. So that's what the non-negotiable is. But your wants, needs, and your expectations, they change according to how you are. They fluctuate. They move. Sometimes you want this, sometimes you don't.
And then there are times you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
You know what?
Almond Joy. So here's another thing that you want to do if you want to cure your relationship from being at a point where you're just going through the motions. Deal with the small issues. Don't let them fester into big problems.
Big issues. That's it.
Deal with the small issues.
That's it.
Have those conversations about things that may to them seem small, but they're big to you.
Yes.
You've got to be able to have those conversations that seem insignificant to you, but they may be big to the other person. Listen to me. Perception is reality. What the person is thinking, what they're feeling, that's reality for them. Are y'all listening to me, Instagram?
Yes.
What may be small and insignificant to you, their perception of it is totally different, and you got to be able to hear both sides equally. Are y'all listening to me?
So listen, think about it this way. If you got a leak on your roof, like up here, if you got a leak on your roof, it could be small, but over time, what happens with that leak? It becomes a big problem if it's not addressed. So think of those small issues like that. There are some things that we need to address before they become big issues that end up costing us in the long run.
Here's another thing that I want you to do. I want you to do this. I want you to also consider asking yourself, how have I contributed to this going through the motion? What role am I playing?
What role did I play in this?
Yeah, ask yourself that critical question. Am I playing a role?
Self-reflection.
Am I playing a role in this situation just going through the motion?
Yeah.
Am I drawing them? Am I pushing them away rather than drawing them closer?
Yeah.
Is my personality pushing them away or drawing me closer? Is my lack of understanding, a lack of wanting to understand, pushing or drawing? That's the kind of conversations that you want to have with each other. And so that's what I'm saying to y'all.
Right.
That you got to get to that point of doing. Are y'all listening to me? Do I have anything else?
I think that's it, honey.
Oh, yeah, I got another one. I did write these down because I want to make sure I got them out. When you're having conversations with each other,
okay,
give them your attention with no distractions. Make sure that there are no distractions, no telephone on, no TV on, to where you're just hearing each other out. If you're going to get to a place where you're not going through the motion, you have to be able to hear each other out. No distractions, please.
So that could be when it's date night, that is a no phone zone. Some people don't even put their phones in the bedroom because that is no phone zone. So however y'all roll with that, that's what y'all do. But there needs to be a time where it's just the two of you and there are no distractions. That means no kids, no phone. You know, do whatever y'all do, what grown folks do. I don't know.
And I got compliment each other.
Aww.
Compliment more.
Yeah.
Compliment each other more.
Yeah.
Again, all this stuff has to be two-sided.
Practice.
Cannot be just one-sided. Both people have to play a role in this. And so if your husband ain't on here, let him listen to this later on. Even if they don't get nothing but the ending part. That's fine.
The last 10 minutes.
They got ADD. They got attention deficit disorder. They don't want to hear this kind of stuff. And then lastly, if none of that works, and I probably should put this first. Matter of fact, make this the first thing you do. Get God and a therapist, a counselor. God and a therapist.
Yes.
God and a therapist.
Listen,
boy.
We did this a few weeks back. We said, if you didn't grow up in a dysfunctional home, raise your hand.
And that's all of us.
I don't see nobody hand raised. Okay. So, with that being said, because we have all grown up in some type of dysfunction, you need to make sure your dysfunction has not become your baggage. Because when it becomes your baggage, you're taking that baggage from relationship to relationship. And what ends up happening is you find yourself just going through the motions. So, listen, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Our time is up. Sheltered In with the Nightens. We appreciate you guys watching us on Sundays at 7 and Wednesdays at 9. So we appreciate you guys. We love your comments and everything. Listen, if you want to bless us, we got this question last week. How can you bless us? Listen, we didn't even think about it. We were like, what? There is our Cash App over there. $, make it happen 60. Make it happen 60 is our Cash App. That's right, make it happen. So if you want to bless us, we didn't even think about it. Somebody mentioned it to us, and we were like, "What? We didn't think about that."
Yeah, we thank y'all for the information that you're giving us. You're helping us to have better marriages in the future. That is not our goal. That is not our desire.
Nope.
To get money from people. That is not who we are. God has blessed us in ways that we can't imagine. We're not millionaires or anything like that, but we're not hurting for anything either.
We're working on it though. That's
we're
right.
Working on it now.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Listen, my hubby wrote a book. It's an amazing book. $10 will get you. If it's love, it will last. It is a phenomenal book. You may be like, well, I ain't in no relationship, so I don't even need to know that.
Need it.
Listen, you need it because you got a relationship coming. If you've got kids, you need to get this book for them. If they're teenagers, young teenagers, or teenagers in the making, or whatever, a young adult, they need this book. If it's love, it will last. $10. DM him. He will send you the book. Listen.
Miss Menace, your book will be there probably tomorrow or Tuesday. Should be anyway.
All right.
Let me see what I'm going to get a book away
I said
tonight.
he was going to give away 2 books tonight.
I'm going to give away 2 books tonight.
Get ready. He about to do it. Okay.
Gwen Warren.
Gwen Warren.
DM me so I can get you your information. Your book to you. Let me see who else been good tonight. Let's see who else need this book tonight. Not need it, but I want to bless somebody. Let me see. Demetria Johns.
Yay, Demetria.
Shayla White, I think I already sent you one. I think we did.
I think we did.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Demetria and
Demetria.
What's the other name I said?
Who was the other person? Oh, we both forgot. Gwen.
Okay, those 2 I need y'all to DM me your addresses.
Yep.
I'm looking at.
And if you want a book as well, please make sure that you DM him with your address. His Cash App is Make It Happen 60. $10 will get you the book. He'll autograph it, drop it in the mail to you. So make sure you do that. You got your Gwen and who's the other person? Demetria. Gwen and Demetria, good job. You guys get a book tonight. Make sure you DM him with your address so he can receive it. Shayla said, yep, she got her book. All right, Shayla, thank you.
Let the people know how you like that book. Yeah, now, come on, now, stop playing.
Let us know how you like it. So, we appreciate you guys. We will see you guys Wednesday at 9.
One more quick announcement.
Okay.
Also, make sure you go to the My Relationship Movement page here on Facebook, My Relationship Movement. Also, make sure you go to Nova Counseling and Consulting. Nicole, please put that up. My Relationship Movement on Facebook, Nova Counseling and Consulting on Facebook. Hit us up. We would love to have a conversation with y'all.
Yep.
Listen, we appreciate y'all coming on. We appreciate your time. Appreciate all of your support. Y'all make sure y'all go back and watch this if you're just coming on late.
That's it.
I want y'all to know that we're just here to try to be a blessing to you, try to be as transparent as we can, because we need to help our couples, our relationships become better, so that we can become better for each other, so that we can continue to birth kings and queens for these kings and queens that's coming up. Y'all be blessed. We'll talk to y'all on Wednesday night.
Wednesday at 9.
9 o'clock, Wednesday night.
See you then.
See y'all.
Bye.
Peace out.